We also sent our Scott Broom to the scene as soon as this happened.
Scott, good morning. You've been talking to people in that area, and one woman you spoke with actually heard the bridge collapse.
Well, a lot of people on this end of the bridge, this neighborhood, Turner Station, part of Dundalk, Maryland, felt the rattle and the shake and the thunder as the bridge came down. We'll talk to some of those in a moment. First, let me set the scene. This is the northern foot of the bridge here, the MDTA police headquarters. It's a staging area for much of the rescue that's going on. And while I was here, I was able to discuss briefly with an individual, unfortunately in broken Spanish on my part, who said that he has 3 co-workers he's deeply concerned about. He doesn't know their fate or where they are. He was here because he's concerned, and he thinks they may have been among those who were doing some of the concrete work on the bridge overnight. All of that unconfirmed, and we're trying, just like he is, to get as much information as available. So that's the type of folks we're talking to here behind me. These are houses that are right next to the roadway here, and a lot of people I spoke with, first of all, they're just in disbelief because of this iconic bridge is missing. And then listen to Venetia Barbie, who I spoke to a while ago. She described hearing the bridge come down last night.
This morning, it was around 1:30, and I live right here off of New Pittsburgh Avenue, me and my 87-year-old mom. And the building has shook so severely, and it woke me up. I was scared, and I didn't know what was going on. I ran out to look to see what had happened, because we had planes that fly across. I heard all the police and fire trucks and, people just racing down here on Bronan Highway, coming this way, but never to think that would happen, that the bridge had collapsed. I thought maybe it was just a major, terrible accident and everything. So later on, people started calling me. My phone was blowing up because they know this is the route I've been taking since 1982. I had worked for Avis Rental Car since then, and then I was employed with the post office in 1989, working at the airport, Baltimore, Maryland, taking this bridge on a night shift for over 30-something years. And I'm in disbelief. It's just, it's just incomprehensible to even believe the bridge is gone, because this is the everyday of life that people take this bridge to get back and forth to work or wherever they're traveling to.
And when you talk about the everyday of life, folks here on this side of the bridge, they cross the bridge every day, and it's this iconic presence on the Baltimore skyline, and they're literally standing around here in complete disbelief that it's gone. They can see the ship out there, and they can see the remains of the steel structure in the water. The bridge primarily serves people in northern Anne Arundel County, crossing over here to eastern Baltimore County, and the bridge, of course, is at the east end, the mouth of the Baltimore Harbor. Just an iconic location here in the city. It carries primarily the heavy truck traffic that can't go through the tunnels that are serving the port here, and all of the people on this side of the Baltimore metro area who go back and forth, as you just heard Ms. Barbie. She said she had crossed the bridge yesterday. A number of other people I've spoken to here in the Turner Station section of Dundalk, Maryland, said they crossed commuting yesterday. One guy I just spoke to a moment ago, we haven't been able to turn his sound around, said he crossed the bridge last night at about 12:15. Everybody here gets this sense that it could have been them. It's very personal to people here because so many people use the bridge, they're familiar with it, they've been up on it, and they know what it's like to be up there above the water, and it just feels so personal to them. And because their houses shook, they feel like they're part of this calamity and disaster. That's the kind of reactions we're getting here in Dundalk, Maryland, on the north side of the bridge. Let me throw it back to you.
Scott, before we let you go, I got to ask, as a longtime Marylander, very familiar with that area, when you turn around and look at the state of the Key Bridge right now, what goes through your mind?
Well, it's the same kind of disbelief as everybody else. I've crossed the bridge hundreds of times, cross it at least weekly. As I said, it's an iconic figure on the Baltimore skyline, and it just doesn't exist And for the hundreds and thousands and millions of us that have crossed this bridge, it's just hard to believe that, hey, I was up there too one time. It's a disaster. And it really personally affects people because of the iconic nature of this bridge and because of the terrible apparent loss of life that's occurred. Everybody's mind is on that, trying to imagine what could have possibly happened last night and what it may have been like for the two people that we know survived this.